Audi Sport lineup is getting pretty exciting. You have the RS3, the RS5, the RS7, the RSQ8, and we finally got the RS6 Avant here in the United States. But what we don't have is an Audi RS4. What we do have is an Audi S4, and that's what we're here to talk about today. So let me give you a quick tour of the 2020 Audi S4, and then I'll give you my opinion on what I think about this. But before I do, make sure you hit subscribe, make sure you hit like, and let's do this. So usually I'll kick off my reviews with the cool and interesting things that you should know about a particular car, but since the Audi S4 here isn't an all-new generation model, it's still very similar to the outgoing A4 and S4s, so let's just jump into it. That being said, let's talk about the pricing details. Now, I am a little bit late in reviewing the new S4, so I'm going to give you the pricing of the 2021 model year, and it starts at $49,900 for the S4 Premium, and the top-of-the-line Prestige starts at $58,200. My test model here is the S4 Premium Plus, which starts at $53,500. As tested here, you're looking at $59,740. Next up, let's talk about power and performance. Power still comes from a 3-liter turbocharged V6, making 349 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque, and that's made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission. This engine is fantastic and the power delivery is really smooth, but I would love to see an Audi RS4 here in the United States. So while we patiently wait for Audi to give us a true M3 and C63 competitor, we'll just have to make do with the S4, and this will do 0 to 60 in 4.4 seconds with a top speed of 155 miles an hour, but that still makes it slower than the M340i and the C43. So when it comes to picking your drive modes, you can do that through the drive select button right here, and you have the option to pick between comfort, auto, dynamic, and individual. Dynamic is obviously the most fun. Individual will let you set the car to your personal liking. Fuel economy wise, you'll get 20 city and 28 highway. You have a 15.3 gallon tank capacity. I'm averaging, after a few days of driving, a total of 15 miles a gallon. Pretty good. Now let's take a closer look at the exterior design of the new Audi S4 and the A4 as well, because while they are one of Audi's best-selling models, they were pretty quiet about the updates. I mean, whenever there's a new BMW 3 Series or a Mercedes-Benz C-Class, both brands tend to make a pretty big deal about it. Now, while the new A4 and S4 aren't completely a new generation model, Audi does say that every piece of sheet metal on the exterior has been transformed. To me, it definitely does look cooler than the outgoing model. I've always been a fan of Audi's exterior design language. The more and more you look at the S4 here, the more it starts to show off its sportiness and elegance. On the front end, you have a really cool giant grille. Audi's single frame grille is now more prominent on the A4, and on the S4 here, it has a cool honeycomb pattern. Now, we all know that Audi definitely kills it when it comes to the headlamps and taillights, and all Audi A4 and S4 models now come standard with LED headlamps. The Premium Plus model that I'm testing here gets cooler LED daytime running lights, but if you want those cool animation and dancing headlights, you'll have to go for the Prestige model. Let's take a closer look at the wheels. All Audi S4 models come standard with 18-inch wheels, but you can upgrade them to 19-inch wheels. I'm not a crazy fan of the wheel design here, but there is one other option. And finally, let's move over to the back, and the first thing you'll probably notice are the quad exhausts. The second thing you'll probably notice are the cool taillights. I love the design of the taillights here, and you have a nice little lip spoiler. I like the rear end design of the S4 quite a bit. It makes it look really beefy for sure. Let's hop inside the new Audi A4/S4, and you'll notice not much has changed besides a few things. Now, if you are a true Audi fan, the first thing you'll notice besides the obvious upgrade to the MMI infotainment system is the area below the cup holders here. Audi has dropped the whole iDrive style controllers and the buttons in this area and have just replaced it with a tiny storage area. In fact, it's the same shape as where the buttons used to be, but now it's just a place where you can put your keys and your wallet. Oh, and by the way, I did notice that they definitely upgraded the steering wheel on the 2021 model year that's hitting dealerships right now. This is a 2020 model year, so it still has the rounded area in the middle, but the new one is more squared off. That being said, in terms of quality and feel, the interior is fantastic. My test model has these really cool carbon fiber inlays that will run you an additional $500, and it looks really cool, so I definitely recommend it. But again, Audi's interiors are amazing. They feel really good. The button quality is good. Overall dash quality is good, and the materials they use are really nice. Now, the seats on the Audi S4 are very comfortable. You do get heated seats as standard, but if you want cooled seats, you will have to add on the warm weather package for an extra $700. Now, before we move on, let's take a look at the rear seat leg room. You have 35.7 inches. I'm about 6 foot tall. That is my seating position. As you can see, pretty good. Not that bad at all. Kind of surprised. You do have your own climate control back here, and you have 2 USB ports to charge your devices. Let's talk about tech, starting with the gauge cluster. Now, my test model doesn't have the whole view full screen map thing because it doesn't have navigation apparently, but if you want the full MMI infotainment system with the navigation, you can upgrade to the Prestige S4 and that will come with it standard. The gauge cluster does provide you with a lot of cool information, and you have two themes to pick from. One is Sport, which looks like this, and then you also have S Performance, which is the one I kind of like. That's the one I keep it in, and you have two different view modes. Looks really cool. Move over to the infotainment system, and that's the other biggest change for the 2020 and 2021 Audi S4 with the new MMI infotainment system that's housed in a 10.1-inch touchscreen display. It's very quick, very easy to use. I love the system a lot. You do have Apple CarPlay, you do have Android Auto as standard, and if you want a deeper dive into the system, check out my Audi Q7 review. Of course, this doesn't have the dual screen setup, but they are pretty similar. One cool trick, by the way, if you don't get the navigation, like my test model, the Premium Plus, doesn't have navigation, if you still want that whole cool Google satellite map view for the navigation, you could just pop in your Apple CarPlay, go to Google Maps, and view satellite view right there. So you don't have to pay extra for navigation. Overall, the interior on the S4 is a very nice place to be. You don't have cool ambient lighting systems like you do on the BMW 3 Series and the C-Class, and Audi has also opted not to add any cool voice assistant or meditation programs in here, but it's still a very nice cabin. And before I give you my opinion on how it is to drive the Audi S4, let me point out a few random things that I'll have to show all of you. You have a total of 4 cup holders, 2 for the front passengers and 2 for the rear passengers under the center armrest, which I had some challenge pulling out. So now just fold them out like that. Like that. Door open and close sound on the Audi S4 from the outside and from the inside. I expect this to be nothing less of solid. Oh yeah. Yep, pretty solid. And here are the keys for the 2020 and 2021 Audi S4. You got a nice little S back there, and let's unlock it. See the taillights do a little animation. That's the only animation you get on the Premium Plus. The Prestige has a whole other dance that it does. So get this, I am at a park and somebody's out there practicing their trumpet, and I'm about to piss off the whole park because I'm gonna let you listen to the horn sound of the 2020 and 2021 Audi S4. Here it goes. Pretty nice. And he stopped playing the trumpet, so now I pissed him off. And now that I've given you a tour of the Audi RS4, you see how much I wish there was an RS4 here? I mean the Audi S4. Let me give you my opinion on what I think about this. I think it's pretty awesome. So the 2020 and now the 2021 Audi S4 aren't an all-new generation based on the A4. They've just been slightly updated in terms of exterior design and some new tech inside. It's hot, but it's not BMW M340i hot. This is more like Mercedes-AMG C43 hot. Before you get into the true M, the true RS, and the true 63 AMG models, the BMW M340i is one of my top picks in this segment. Not only is this thing extremely fun to drive when it comes to performance, it's actually really smooth and very comfortable. So if you're looking to strike the perfect balance between sport and comfort, the Audi S4 will not disappoint. I was about to say RS again. That being said, I'm very excited to see where the Audi A4 lineup goes from here. First of all, I'd love to see an all-new generation lineup, and then I'd love to see an Audi RS4 here in the United States. Either way, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and on TikTok at omardrives. I'll see you next week. Take care. Peace. When you pop this thing into dynamic mode, it sounds really nice. I like it.